on Ishimere. Ishimere is one of the 3 Iron Islands. It is one of the smaller ones. There's a population of about 300 people. And so we get off and we take a little horse buggy, which was amazing. It was 10 euros a person, and they're taking us on a little tour all around the island. So I would highly recommend doing the horse tour if you ever come to this island. There's also tractor tours and bikes. I wouldn't recommend biking because there's a lot of hills and a lot of horse carriages, so like it looks like a very stressful experience. Why there's like literally just us 2 and then this one other person on the horse carriage, and it's really great. So I definitely recommend doing that. The tractor, same price, but was very crowded. And now we're exploring a shipwreck. Okay, so behind us is the Plessy steamboat. This steamboat crashed quite a few decades ago. Well, basically what happened is it's missed its marker. Its marker was this buoy out here. It went the wrong way and it crashed into a reef, got a big hole in it, and they were able to rescue everyone. There were like 11 or 12 crewmen. They rescued all of them, not by boat, but by using a really interesting technique that I can't even try to re-explain. And the next few days they were able to salvage a bunch of whiskey as well. So win-win, everyone was safe. And I guess over the years it's moved a few times, but it's just crazy how strong like the ocean and those storms are here, that it moved this massive boat all the way up to the island. So right now we're inside the shipwreck, and unfortunately there is no Scotch whiskey for us to find. It has all been taken. So we just finished our horse and buggy tour. It was absolutely amazing. He was really sweet. So the guy's name was Kevin and the horse's name was Captain Morgan. And now we walked up to the castle. So right behind us is the castles. It was built by the O'Briens, I believe. And then this way, you can see the other 2 Iron Islands. Right over there. So the one right here is the other smaller one, and the one back there that's kind of hazy. It's like right back here. It's a little bit hazy. There's like 900 people that live on that one. So right now we're inside the O'Brien's castle on Ishimere Island, and it's really tiny, but it's really cool because you can just walk right on up to it and explore it. I say explore, it's literally 3 rooms. So Katrina is like 5'9", I'm 5'2", so this is gonna be very interesting. And also her strides are longer, so I have to walk really fast to stay in front of her. But anyways, we just finished exploring the island, so now we're walking back. We have about like 25 minutes until our ferry leaves, so hopefully we can get food and go to the bathroom. So we made it to the cliffs. They are breathtaking. Like honestly, this is definitely one of those places that you just have to see in person because a video won't be able to do this justice. But we're gonna show you anyway, so hopefully you can get an idea of how insane this is. Okay, so quick update. If you have a limited amount of time at the cliffs like we did, which again, apologizing if this video is super bumpy, we're currently walking downhill to try to make our bus. Go to the left, not the right. At the right, there's this little like tower viewpoint. It's not really worth it because basically when you get to the top, most of your view is obstructed anyways. So don't even bother, go to the left. The view is really beautiful. The right does have a beautiful view though of like the cliffs as a whole, but there was less people to the left. So quick update, we missed our bus, but it's okay, there's another bus later. And this is just a really good opportunity. So whenever something goes wrong when you're traveling, the most important thing is stay calm. And number 2, don't be afraid to ask for help. And 3, make the most of the experience. Because since we missed our bus, we got to walk the other way in the cliffs and see this view, which is honestly, I think better. It's gorgeous because you can see the waves crashing and there's less people and it's stunning. And it's also less windy. So we missed our bus. It'll cost us about 20 euros more to get home now. But we had extra times at the cliffs and a beautiful view. And now look at the sun hitting the water. So that's the most important thing though, is when something goes wrong, because it will, stay calm, don't be afraid to ask for help, and make the most of it. Because you never know why things happen for why they did. And now, I mean, look at that. Pretty good place for something to go wrong. This is our last morning in Galway. We're so sad because we loved it so much. We're gonna do a walking tour and then we're gonna head over to Dublin for a day. But we're really excited because it seems like the walking tour is about like the tribes of the area. So we're really excited and stay tuned. So we just finished our walking tour. It was Katrina's first free walking tour in Europe. and it was absolutely amazing. Our guide was named Dylan. Highly recommend. It was the Tribes Free Walking Tour by Dylan. There's obviously a ton of tour guides, but ours was Dylan and he was really great. And now we are walking right here. This blue house you see behind us is actually where Ed Sheeran filmed his music video, Galway Girl. But they actually, not all the Irish people, especially from Galway, are a huge fan of that song because they already had a song, Galway Girl, and they prefer the original version. But yes, this is where Ed Sheeran filmed his Galway Girl music video. And that was that. And then behind us, which we're gonna go up to, there it is, that's the Spanish Arch, which, quote unquote, with Dylan, is the world's worst monument. It's actually based on a famous legend that he was telling us about, like, one of the families, and basically one of the family's son, Walter Lynch, had killed Gomez, a rich Spanish merchant's son, at that arch over a girl named Sally Blake. Okay, so also this Spanish arch, there was originally 4 arches. 2 of them in the 1750s, I believe he said, were taken away by a tidal wave. Well, I got a little sunburned here. And then another one of the arches was closed up, which is behind me. So only 2 of the 4 remain, only one of them is usable. And also a piece of the wall is from the original wall that the Normans built to basically keep out the natives when they came over to Galway, Ireland. So yes, a great tour filled with good recommendations, really good stories, and some history that he said to take with a grain of salt because all the historians in Ireland, especially Galway, like to spruce up the stories. But yes, really fun. Katrina, what were your thoughts on your first walking tour?
It was very fun. The tour guide was amazing. Very funny, very, very good.
Yeah, and that was that. It didn't rain, but there's a few drops coming. So far we had really good weather in Ireland, but that could change at any moment. As you can tell, we have a raincoat. I have my raincoat. We are prepared. So behind me is St. Nicholas's Church, and St. Nicholas's Church is basically one of the few original churches here in Ireland, especially in Galway, because what happened is when it was originally built as a Christian Catholic church, and then when the Normans invaded and basically the Englishmen took over, they destroyed all of the Catholic churches, but they left this one up because they used it as a horse stable, because it was the only building big enough to house their horses. So they chopped off the angels' heads and turned it into a stable. Then they realized they needed a place to practice their own Protestant faith, so they turned it into a Protestant church. To this day, it's a Protestant church and a Russian Orthodox church as well, I believe. So there's actually 2 faiths that are practiced in this church. So after a 3-hour bus, we made it to Dublin. Our hostel's interesting. We do have our own room, which is nice. It's connected to the Apache pizza chain. I don't know, so stay tuned for that. But right now we're just exploring the city and we're gonna find some food. And then tomorrow we're gonna go to St. Patrick's and the castle, hopefully. So it is our last day in Ireland, our last day in Dublin, unfortunately. So our goal today was to go to the Dublin Castle as well as St. Patrick's Cathedral. Right now we're in the gardens of the castle, but we can't find the entrance to the castle because the labeled entrance is, the gate is very much shut. So, worst comes to worst, we'll walk around the castle grounds and then just head over to the cathedral. And also, it is a fairly beautiful day, knock on wood, because hopefully I didn't just jinx that because there are massive clouds in the sky. But so far, so good. So behind us is the lovely Dublin Castle. Still cannot find our way into the castle, but the grounds are very beautiful. My favorite is the lovely little gardens and the little stone archways you can walk through. And also, I absolutely love when castles have these elaborate designs in the grass. I think they're really pretty. And now I think we're just gonna head over to the cathedral because castle's under construction and we can't find our way in. Update, we asked a security guard and he helped us find the entrance. Again, goes to show, if you ever need help, ask for help and someone will normally be able to guide you in the right direction. Though I will say, I don't know why that gate was closed. But we found it. We just had to walk in a huge circle. Okay, just wanted to point out something really funny. So we're in the castle, the state apartments area. There's a Guinness sign. I have no idea when that was placed there, but that's how much they love Guinness here. It's literally in their castle. Okay, so behind us is St. Patrick's Cathedral, and we just went in, and it's so amazing because they give you an audio guide. It's only €8 or €7 if you are a student or a senior, and they give you this audio guide, and you learn such interesting things. Like in one of the side parts of the church, they have all of these old flags, and basically they hang the flags up from battles from decades, hundreds of years ago, and they just let the flag naturally decompose basically in honor of the people who lost their lives in those battles. We also learned that Jonathan Swift is the man who wrote Gulliver's Travels, and he also wrote The Modest Proposal, which was satirical, and it was about how during the famine the people should start eating their babies. He was a preacher here and the dean of the cathedral, which I had no idea, and I've studied Jonathan Swift's work. So overall, a very informational audio guide. Definitely go and definitely get the audio guide because you will learn so much, and the church itself is absolutely stunning. Okay, so as you can see, it is now raining. This is the first time we've actually had to pull out our umbrellas. Where's your umbrella?
Put it back.
With you?
Yeah.
You just don't want it?
Yeah.
Okay, well this is the first time I've pulled out my umbrella since being here, which is really impressive because Ireland rains all the time, so we got really good weather. But what I wanted to say is St. Patrick's Cathedral, 100% worth it. If you have the time, do Dublin's Castle, but if you don't have the time, I don't think it's a must. Now, if you could do the guided tour, do the guided tour. But the guided tour was offered at 2, and we need to be on a bus headed towards the airport at 2. So if you can do the guided tour, do that, because then you get to go underground, you get to go into the private church of the castle. But the solo tour, it was really cool. There was a nice art exhibition up, but it definitely wasn't my favorite or most impressive castle or palace I've been in Europe. So if you have the time, do it. Again, it was $7 or $8. Let's say if you have to choose between St. Patrick's and the castle, I would definitely choose St. Patrick's because that was a really cool experience. We're a little wet, but we made it.